From Turpin Stadium in Natchitoches, Louisiana, on the campus of Northwestern State University, it's the 2020 LHSAA Prep Classic. Get ready for the Class 1A championship matchup between the Grand Lake Hornets and the Oak Grove Tigers, the five-time state champion Tigers looking to repeat for the first time in school history, while Grand Lake has made it to the state championship game for the first time in their history. Hello, everyone. Jeff Palermo, along with former Northwestern State All-American, College Football Hall of Famer, and Super Bowl champion Gary Reasons. Glad he could join us for today's game. And what a story Grand Lake is. A school located in Cameron Parish who had to deal with two destructive hurricanes, but yet here they are playing in their first state championship game. Meanwhile, the Oak Grove Tigers, they are in the state title game for a third consecutive year, Gary.
Well, these are two football teams that have gone through different struggles, each of them this season. Grand Lake is a tremendous story with all the persistence that they've had to be able to play football. We'll get into that more in the show, but I think that this is going to be a game, Jeff, that's going to be fun to watch. Both these teams are ready to go. One
guy for Grand Lake who does it all for them. That's Eli Fountain.
Yeah, Eli Fountain does a great job for him. He's a big player on the field, 6'4", almost 200 pounds. He's a running back, also plays a little bit of quarterback, and he does a good job, over 790 yards rushing on the season, a dozen touchdowns. So when he has the ball in his hands, Eli Fountain gives them an opportunity for success with that offense, and so he's a guy that they're going to count on. They'll have other players out there, but Eli Fountain really is a guy to watch for that Grand Lake football team.
And then for the Oak Grove Tigers, they have cruised through the postseason so far. No one has really even came close to beating them, and they got a bunch of four-year starters on this team, led by Deuce Clement and Ron Creighton.
Yeah, a couple of guys that are going to be instrumental in this offense. You know, you talked about the legacy of excellence there with this program, and it's certainly there. Deuce Clement does a great job. He's their quarterback. He'll run the ball, throw the ball, over 800 yards passing and also 800 yards rushing on the season. And then Ron Creighton, he's had over 1,390 yards rushing on the season and 17 touchdowns. So he has the ability to put the ball in the end zone when you talk about running the football. That is a very balanced, very explosive Oak Grove football team, and there's good reason why they're here for multiple times in the state championship game.
When we come back, we'll have the kickoff of this 1A state title game. It is the Cox opening kickoff as we are underway. Grand Lake in all white, they receive as Oak Grove deferred until the second half after winning the opening coin toss. Oak Grove in all black, and that was a 15-yard return. So we'll see the Grand Lake offense first, averaging 33 points a game, led by their sophomore quarterback, Connor Giat, who has thrown for 187 yards on the season. There you take a look at him. Elijah Fountain started as their starting quarterback, but they figured he would be best if they can use him in multiple positions on offense. So we'll see him all over the place. And then they got two running backs, Levi Murrell and Nathan Murrell. Both of them are in the backfield. They are brothers, and we are underway with Levi getting the carry for about 5 yards off the left side. Let's take a look at our Pepware starting lineups. First of all, for Grand Lake on that offensive line, it's been a solid group, and they've been really good. Bryant Williams is a big kid, 6'8", 325 pounds. Cole Castile, number 56. This coach tells us he doesn't like fried chicken. We'll have to get into that a little bit more. And the head coach for Grand Lake is Jeff Wainwright. Second down and 5 as they run it off to the right side, but there was a flag down on the near side as there looked to be a little bit of motion from a Grand Lake player.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 17 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So let's take a look at our starting lineups for the Oak Grove Tigers defensively, which forced 6 turnovers in last year's state title game. And a lot of those main guys are back, including Dalton Allen, who's a big, physical, strong linebacker for them. Caleb Proctor has been unbelievable this season with 48 tackles. The defensive line has really progressed this season as Grand Lake runs it up the middle, and they get a few yards back after committing the 5-yard penalty, but they are now facing 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, when you see this Grand Lake offense, the first thing that you notice that Jeff Wainwright rolls out there, it's a veer-style offense. What that means is they've got a couple of halfbacks in the backfield along with the quarterback. and they are called dive backs. That's what you're going to see here. A lot of quick dives, inside, outside. You have some guards pulling around, but everything happens very quickly up front.
3rd down and 4 off the left side, and they're going to be about a yard shy. So let's see, decision time for Grand Lake on their opening drive. Will they decide to go ahead and punt it away to that explosive offense? They're more than a yard, actually. And here comes the punt team on for the Hornets.
Yeah, just playing it safe here early in this ball game. Conditions are excellent here for a football game. No real wind to deal with here today. We had a lot of wind yesterday here for our couple of state championship games yesterday, but here today it is absolutely perfect for this football game in the mid-60s early on here as we get going.
For Grand Lake, out to punt for them. Look to be Ron Creighton. Or not, excuse me, not Ron Creighton, Branson Aguiar. But the return here coming from Kevin Holloway. Flag comes down as he is down at the 37-yard line. That was a 34-yard punt. But we'll see what the flag is all about. Scott Mayu is our referee from the South Louisiana Officiating Association. And they've already been busy, and we've played just over 2 minutes here in this opening quarter.
Yeah, the flags are back there by where the returner was, so it might have been something of an illegal block in the back, something like that. Well, there's also one near the line of scrimmage, Jeff.
Yeah, there is. So, yeah, 2 different flags that they have to sort out.
We got 3 flags on the field, so little yellow party here going on.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both committed by the receiving team. Holding, number 31. That penalty is declined. During the return, illegal block in the back, number 8 of the receiving team. That penalty is assessed 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Oak Grove.
There you look at Deuce Clement, 4-year starter. He's thrown for over 800 yards. He's rushed for over 800 yards. A strong, athletic kid who prepares the right way, and he's not afraid to try to run you over with his 6-foot, 180-pound frame. He took over for last year's starting quarterback, Braden Sullivan. And Oak Grove will start its first drive of this Class 1A state championship game from their own 18-yard line. Here's the pitch. Oh, looks like a little razzle-dazzle. They tried to throw back to the quarterback, but Kevin Holloway had a lot of defenders in his face. Leading the charge defensively was Bryant Williams, the 6'8", 325-pound junior.
Well, trying to get a throwback play here, not going to happen against Bryant Williams because of his frame. Good job by the big fella coming up and doing a good job. Watch number 64 come into your picture right there. He's going to get back there, and he's going to swat that ball down as they're trying to get that throwback with Clement working. Good defensive play.
2nd down and 10. You got to love the fact that Oak Grove trying to catch Grand Lake off guard on the first play, run up the middle there with Ron Creighton, and only for a few yards. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Oak Grove, brought to you by Pepware. Again, a 4-year starter on the offensive line is Cade Klink. E.J. Anderson is another senior on that left side, 6 foot, 250 pounds, that holds them all accountable. You just saw Holloway try to throw a pass, and then Dalton Allen, you got to watch out for him. Great athleticism, another 4-year starter, 13 catches on the season. It's now 3rd down and 5, and running off the right side and nearly breaking one was Ron Creighton, but he does pick up a first down.
Wow, that was almost the one that's going to take it to the house. Just a shirt-tailed tackle there at the backside of him. Otherwise, he's going to take a big run there. Good job by Creighton here, stepping back and then getting into that hole there in that lane. And then you see the shoestring tackle there by Levi Morrell.
So the first down of the football game by Oak Grove. As Ron Creighton, MVP in last year's title game, rushed for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. As Oak Grove defeated White Castle last year, keeping it. And Clements gets about 5 as he was tackled by Grant Trahan. 77 tackles for the Hornets. Let's tell you more about the Hornets starting lineup on the defensive side of the ball, brought to you by Pepware. As we just mentioned Trahan, you take a look at Kyler Little there, who's a senior cornerback. Elijah Fountain will also play in the defensive backfield. Levi Murrell. Branson Aguiard has 6 sacks on the season, and Bryant Williams, number 64, has 5 sacks. Second down at 5. Handoff, and nothing happening there as that hole was covered up quickly. Nice job. It looked like Cole Castile, one of the defenders there. And there's Bryant Williams again, 6'8", 325 pounds.
Well, he's making a big difference here in this football game as a nose tackle. He's just going right through there. He's just so big. You can't get him out of the way. And Coach was talking to us about him. He said, most importantly, he's very active, good feet. He's a great athlete. So he's making an impact early in this ball game.
He is the one player that they received basically because of the hurricane, as he transferred from Barb, who decided not to play 5A football. A couple of great moves here by Bud Holloway, but he's not able to pick up the first down as Grand Lake was determined to bring him down.
Yeah, Bud Holloway shows that he's got that athleticism out there, and he's one of their leading receivers, a kick returner as well, so explosive capability when he's got the ball in his hand. You see a little bit of that action right there.
So Oak Grove will have to punt, as both teams punting on their opening drive of the football game. And for Oak Grove, Dalton Allen is their punter. And ready to return for Grand Lake is Eli Fountain. And Fountain, he's a guy that could break it. He's a very dangerous return man for Grand Lake. Eli Fountain, also a transfer from Barr, but he transferred to Grand Lake before the hurricane. He was actually on Grand Lake's team last year. And this is a good punt by Allen, and it's going to be down at the 18-yard line. That was a 38-yard punt. We'll take a break. This is the Class 1A state championship game, Grand Lake and Oak Grove. Back in Natchitoches in the 1A state championship game between Grand Lake and Oak Grove. Let's send it down to the sidelines. Ronnie Rance with the Hub International Sideline Report.
Thanks, Jeff. We talked a lot about Grand Lake, who's gotten off to a great start. You know, Jeff Wainwright, their head coach, is a guy who knows how to build programs. He did a great job at Kinder for 10 years, and look where that program's at right now. Was a coach at Sulphur before returning home to South Cameron, the area where he grew up, to coach Grand Lake. And last year, they made it to the playoffs for the first time in school history. This year, quite the challenge. We know about all the storms have gone through the area. They've been the road warriors, lost their stadium, had to play on the road at Jennings and other locations. Haven't had a home football game all year, but have had a couple of transfers and a commitment to play football. They've got over 2 or 3 players that are driving over an hour each way for practice, and Grand Lake is happy to be here in Natchitoches for the state championship for the first time ever.
Yeah, they certainly are, Ronnie. They had to play their home games at Jennings High School, and in order to pay for the security and obviously to clean up after the home games, the parents, who obviously have lost a lot in the hurricanes, they donated the money to make sure that these kids can play on Friday nights.
Yeah, Coach Wainwright talked about that community. They didn't have much Christmas lights in that area, but this football team has been the bright, shining star for that community.
Giat checks to the sidelines as they may try to see if they want to throw it here. Actually, they'll just run it off the right side, and they do pick up the first down.
Yeah, that's well executed. You know, this team is just kind of formed into a, good bunch. A bunch of players that love to play, they love each other, and it's all coming around, and they've got a state championship opportunity here. We've got a player down here for Grand Lake. They'll attend to him.
So that is Caleb Styron, who's down on the ground, who has to toss his helmet away because he's in so much pain.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay.
Grand Lake just picked up its first down.
Yeah. And watch the left guard there. He's going to be coming down. He's going to likely get a little rolled up on him.
Ooh, yep.
Hopefully things are going to be okay for him. You know, as we were talking about Grand Lake and that community, football in its own right can be a galvanizing opportunity for the community to come together and in a regular season, but really in this kind of a disparate season with what happened with the hurricanes in southwest Louisiana, and really to many, many communities down there, Grand Lake being one of them that was hit directly with one of the hurricanes, or actually both of them. So it's really put a damper on that entire community, with football being a kind of a mainstay, trying to get back to normal. You know, talked with Ronnie, and Ronnie was mentioning about how they had to play their home games essentially away, which they played at Jennings. You know, they had to, you know, use that facility, and there's cost involved with that. The communities you talked about, Jeff, pitched in, and a lot of local businessmen and made some contributions to offset some of those expenses. So it's been something to overcome, and really the play has been inspiring to many in that community.
Jeff Wainwright is a Cameron Parish native, a graduate of South Cameron High School, which is no longer around. He graduated from South Cameron in 1995, earned a degree from McNeese. As Ronnie was telling you, he did a nice job at Kinder, and he left right before they won their first state championship in 2013. And then he ended up going to Sulphur, and in 6 seasons at Sulphur had 5 playoff trips, won a playoff game in 2016, back-to-back district champs. But Cameron Parish is home to Coach Jeff Wainwright. So he left Sulphur to coach at Grand Lake in December of 2018, and he received assurance from the athletic director, Scott Miano, that there was great work ethic with the kids, and that it is a place that you can win at. And he has certainly shown that. And even though they're in their state championship game for the first time this year, this has been building for a little bit anyways. They won a playoff game last year, and this year was the first time they've ever even reached the quarterfinals. And here they are with all the perseverance in the world at playing for a state championship game. And I would imagine this is not obviously a good sign here for Grand Lake to see Styron not able to put any weight on his left foot.
Yeah, that's difficult too, to lose your starting center, senior player up there, and good player form. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to continue, it looks like here, at least for the time being.
So Grand Lake has now turned to Derek David as their starting center. The pitch to Fountain, and there's a bunch of Oak Grove Tigers there. Dalton Allen wrapped him up and brought him down for a loss of 3.
Good job there by the defensive front there, just pressing inside early and knocking it through there. So
let's take a look at some of our impact players. We've already talked about this guy a bunch. That is Bryant Williams for Grand Lake.
Yeah, you can't talk enough about him because he does it all. Offensive line, big offensive tackle, 6'8", 325. And then on the defensive side, Caleb Proctor and Dalton Allen, a couple of linebackers. Very impactful players there for both of them. They step up in the line of scrimmage, and they're able to make plays happen. So look for those guys to make an impact for both these football teams.
On the jet sweep, if Fountain can get to the outside, he can run a long way, and he does get to the outside and gets very close to that first down marker. He's going to be about a yard shy at the 39-yard line.
Did you take a look at that stride that he has? He's got a good long stride and very fast. So when he gets the ball in his hands with a lot of field to be able to run and turn that corner, certainly has an opportunity to turn on that speed, and he showed it right there. Eli Fountain does a good job as we get the pitch here to him, coming around the edge, and just watch him outrun the defense. Good work.
One of the best athletes in the Lake Charles area. At Grand Lake, he's the quarterback, punt returner, kick returner, safety, running back. He kind of does it all. On 3rd and short, I think Oak Grove got enough with the forward progress, and they did with Levi Muro, a tough kid who's 6 foot, 185 pounds with a big heart. Got enough for the first down on that carry.
Yeah, they got some tough guys inside there. Bryson Baker and Reed Milligan also on that defensive front, doing a good job of just holding up inside, and MT Freeman right there as well.
So 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line is Gee out underneath center. They run it off the left side. Fountain got a yard. That's about it. Going into the season for the Tigers, the defensive line was a concern because of how many guys they lost off of last year's state championship season, but that group has played well. Reed Milligan, 37 tackles on the year. Bryson Baker, 38 tackles, and Montarius Freeman with 33 tackles. They've done a terrific job for Oak Grove. Big reason why the Tigers have only allowed 12 points a game Yeah, they lost a couple of Division I players off that defensive line, like Burt Hale is at Louisiana Tech, and then Keenan Caldwell, who's at Kansas. Another run off the right side, only about a yard, and so it's now 3rd down and long for Grand Lake, who may have to throw the ball for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, just watch his defensive pressure. This is exactly what you need to do. Watch Big 78, the right side, right on the center as he pushes the center back into the backfield. That's great defensive pressure from the inside. Good job that time by Bryson Baker putting that pressure back in there, and that kind of negate anything that the running back wanted to do to cut that back in there. Big fella did a good job, and he's done it all season for this Tiger football team.
Baker, a big kid, 6 foot, 305 pounds. So 3rd down and 7, and Giat will throw over the middle, missed his man. Had a receiver running a bit of a pass or a post route with Kyler Little, but the pass was a little bit too far or too high from him. And really the only guy that can get a hand on it was Bud Holloway for Oak Grove.
Yeah, a little bit of overthrown there. Possibly the lineman in there in his way couldn't get that ball down a little bit, but out towards midfield, we're going to punt the football.
So out the punt for Oak Grove, or excuse me, for Grand Lake is Branson Aguiard.
Yeah, they're missing one here. There's the play clock runs down just under 10 seconds. Look, they'll get this snap off.
And Grand Lake has to burn a timeout with 2.
Timeout, Grand
27.
Lake. This is their first charge of the
Clock
half.
is still ticking, even though the official says timeout. But we'll take a break. We're in the first quarter of the 1A state championship game between Oak Grove and Grand Lake. Don't go away. Another great day for the Prep Classic in beautiful Natchitoches, Louisiana, and our weather brought to you by Cribs Incorporated. As it's 61 degrees, cloudy skies, a little humid here today, but still a nice day for a high school football game, as this is the first of 3 games on this Monday after Christmas. So punting is Grand Lake, their second punt of the game, and this is going to be a terrific punt. This is going to back Oak Grove all the way inside their 5-yard line. That is a 52-yard punt. Aguiard does a tremendous job there, the senior, and that's something that I am sure Coach Jeff Wainwright really likes. Now we'll see if his defense can keep Oak Grove pinned back.
Yeah, he took that time out there to make sure that he was able to punt the ball, and I guess he needed just that extra 5 yards to hold it because it's at the 6-yard line. That ball would have been just a little bit further out.
1st and 10 at the 6-yard line. Oak Grove making their 11th appearance in the Class 1A state championship game. Hard run right up the middle, and that gives Oak Grove some breathing room of about 8 yards, as that was Ron Creighton again.
Yeah, just helmet in chest on defensive player and runs through and over the player.
Now a little tempo offense from Oak Grove. As Creighton runs with determination, and he showed it off right there, and another good run to pick up the first down for the Oak Grove Tigers.
Yeah, I just love the high school football programs, all the differing styles, and you see how Creighton here lines up immediately behind the quarterback, very quick. They can go quickly right, quickly left, either way, and just quick hitters inside. And
officials timeout for injury.
As a defense, you have to account for them.
Man, now Grand Lake's got another kid that's hurt.
No, that's the big fella.
No, it's John Carter. No, excuse me, not John Carter O'Neill. That's Brian Williams, obviously the guy that we've talked a lot about already. And man, you've already lost one lineman, and now you could lose your star lineman. And there's the other injury involving Grand Lake. Caleb Styron, who's got the ice pack on the left ankle.
Yep, ankle there, and not looking good for Styron.
Well,
this is good news here. Maybe he can get up, walk this thing off, and get back in there.
Hopefully it's just an issue of getting twisted a little bit, and feeling an initial pain, but hopefully he's okay. Jeff Wainwright can't afford to lose too many more guys. Obviously, when you're playing the 1A level, you got a lot of guys going both ways. You don't have large rosters, so when you start getting injuries, it becomes a serious issue. At the 19-yard line, and another great run. Ron Creighton, first down for the Oak Grove Tigers. Boy, he's getting close to breaking one. 16 yards on that carry.
Good job of getting through there. Quick hitter inside once again, but took that little cut to the outside. That kind of tripped him up here. Watch as he hits the ball inside and cuts right back to the right, and he makes that little cut to the outside and gets his heels clicked up there.
And Oak Grove
Creighton again
gets another 8 yards. The head football coach for the Tigers is Ryan Gregory in his 6th season. He was on the state championship teams for Oak Grove in 1999 and 2001. He was a captain on that team. In 2014, he took over as there is some movement on the line of scrimmage, and that's going to back Oak Grove up 5 yards. But Ryan Gregory took over in 2014. They were 5-6 that first season, and then they got progressively better. They actually lost their first 3 games in 2015, but finished 10-4.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, number 61 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's on Cade Klink, who's played a lot of football for the Tigers. So in 2016 and 15, they go 10-4, 17, they go 12-2. In 2018, they get to the state championship game, but they lose, but came back last year and defeated White Castle 55-12.
Yeah, so 3 years consecutively in the state championship game for Oak Grove. That's excellent.
Here's a pitch, good pursuit by Grand Lake's defense, and they hold that to just a 2-yard gain. Nathaniel Murrell on the tackle. Let's take a look at our impact players. Oak Grove offensively and Grand Lake defensively.
Well, Oak Grove, Kelvin Holloway, he's going to be a big part of this thing. He's a wide receiver, and they'll get that ball out there to him as well when they do toss that football. Grand Lake defensively, we've already talked about that defensive front, but he's a stalwart up there. Cole Mott does a good job at the defensive tackle position, putting pressure on this offense, and he'll need to be big, come up big, because this running game is stout here for Oak Grove.
Mott forced a fumble in the semifinal win over East Iberville. Nice job, great play there. There's Cole Mott.
Yeah, right on cue there. Cole Mott does his thing, gets in that backfield and makes a big negative play here for this Grand Lake defense.
There is a flag on the field. Also, an Oak Grove player lost his helmet. Cade Klink lost his helmet, so he'll put that back on and have to sit out a play unless the helmet was pushed off by a Grand Lake player. Then it looked like a Grand Lake player, Cole Castile, may have thrown a punch.
Well, there's been a little bit pushing on this field today already, Jeff. I've seen a little bit of a feisty attitude as plays are coming to conclusion. A little bit of extra pushing going on. This official is going to have to kind of shut that down. Bryant Williams coming back in the ball game. I see number 64 for Grand Lake making it back in there.
Whatever happened or whatever the call is, I don't think Oak
There are
Grove's
2
gonna be happy.
fouls, 1 committed by each team. During the play, illegal participation, number 61 of the offense. The player's helmet came off and he continued to participate in the play. That 15-yard penalty is assessed half the distance, 15 yards from the previous spot, and replay 3rd down. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. That penalty is assessed 15 yards from the succeeding spot. We'll replay 3rd down.
Okay.
A lot happened there.
Yes, indeed. Got a lot of camera time. That's good, though.
Here goes the helmet off, and then he continues playing.
Yeah, you got to keep playing. That's what he's thinking, and then you get a little extra activity out there.
So that was a nice play by Mott. Now you're going to see the thrown punch here by the Grand Lake player.
Oh, well. Back and forth, I think, is what the officials are going to do when it's all said and done.
Yeah, they walk 15 yards back, walk 15 yards forward.
Number 61 is disqualified for one play. One play.
So again, that's Klink being disqualified for one play, or not able to play for one play because of the helmet coming off. So Oak Grove will run Payne Hagan out on the football field for this third down play. 3rd and 4.
There wasn't a penalty called as that helmet was knocked off, so does have to come out for the ball game for a play.
Juice Clement barking out the signals. He's going to keep it, trying to get the edge, and he does. He's got the first down and more. Got a blocker in front of him. Knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Biggest play of the football game comes on the final play of the first quarter, and that one went for 35 yards. Oak Grove now on the move. After 12 minutes of this Class 1A state championship game, the senior QB pulls off the biggest play of the game so far. We'll find out if Oak Grove can cash in when we come back.
Welcome back, everyone, in Natchitoches, Louisiana for the state championships here. When you're in Natchitoches, stop by the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame located on 800 Front Street, right on the banks of the Cane River in beautiful downtown Natchitoches. For more information, go to LA Sports Hall, but the Hall of Fame is open Tuesdays through Saturday from 10 until 4:30 and open this Sunday and Monday during the high school football state championships.
Jeff Palermo along with Gary Reasons and Ronnie Rantz down on the sidelines as we are set to begin the second quarter for Oak Grove and Grand Lake. This will be the first play that either team has ran in the opposing team's territory. Oak Grove, more total yards, a lot of them coming on that run by Clement right as the first quarter ended.
Yeah, that was a 35-yard run, so you take that away, it's almost an even-Steven ball game here. So a good drive here set up right now for Oak Grove.
And then here's Creighton up the middle, running over a defender for about 7 or 8 yards as he ran over Grand Lake's Cole Mott.
Yeah, Cole Mott stuck his head in there, and Creighton just kind of ran right through him, but you got to make a tackle any way you can. That's what Mott did.
Again, Creighton running. That time he was wrapped up and brought down to the ground by Grand Lake's Connor Miano. And they are inside as Oak Grove, the Red Zone fundraising Red Zone. So they move the chains once again as the Tigers now have the ball at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Cole Mott stepping out of the ball game here for just a play. They had stopped play for him, so they do have to replace him. Trying to get that left arm loosened up.
This offense has been really humming along for Oak Grove. They got off to a slow start this season. They beat Sterlington 14-12, also beat St. Frederick 14-6, but they've been consistently scoring in the 40s, 50s, and even put up 67 points in the playoffs against Logansport. Clement gets away from one defender, but gets a yard, that's about it. As Grand Lake was not faked out at all by any of the misdirection.
Yeah, that's one thing that Deuce Clement has to do in this offense. He has to be somewhat deceptive with the football as quick as these things happen on these dive plays and players coming around. And Good job that time by the defense. He just kind of not taking the bait, not taking the eye candy, and made a good tackle on him at the line of scrimmage.
Coleman McCready made the tackle. Grand Lake has suffered one loss this season. That was to Oberlin. But since then, they have not allowed a team to rush more than 200 yards against them. Here's Creighton off the left side, and down he goes to the 5-yard line. That is the 10th play of the drive, and they are facing 3rd down and about 1.
Well, your safety's going to have to come up and play the line of scrimmage, because this play could have gone to the house. Nathaniel Morrell, number 3, comes in there and makes a good low tackle on Creighton, who was poised to get into the end zone.
He might have almost nearly got into the end zone there.
The ruling on the field is the ball carrier was beyond the line to gain, but short of the goal line, 1st down.
So 1st and goal there, inside the 1-yard line, is Oak Grove knocking on the door now.
You can see just how quickly they get to the line of scrimmage. Just continuing pressure on a defense here, getting those quick pops inside.
Oh, they lose the snap, and who's got the football? It's going to be a touchback as Grand Lake recovers it. What a huge play in this one.
All that great work Oak Grove had moving the football down the field with the explosive runs and the power running inside by Ron Creighton. That was a great job of just negating that by causing a fumble and getting the ball back to the defense. Good job by Kent Zonbrecker being able to get that recovery for Grand Lake.
A 12-play, 93-yard drive goes for naught. Just popped right in the hands of Kent Zonbrecker, a late Christmas gift for the Grand Lake Hornets.
Unfortunate there, because that was an excellent drive, good work, but kind of one of those bend but don't break type of defenses here. And
looked like the snap was low.
It's just so quick, Jeff. You never really know, because he's down there low all the time, and ball just kind of just popped out.
Well, we'll see if Grand Lake can take care of this or use this opportunity and drive down the length of the field. They've already gotten a break here. Grand Lake running the split back veer offense. And up the middle, it's Eli Fountain for about 4.
The handoff is to number 1, Elijah Fountain.
So as we mentioned earlier, Fountain started the season as a quarterback for Grand Lake, but they realized they need to get him in a lot of different positions. Yeah, he says he loves playing quarterback, though. He likes to put on a show.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had an opportunity to play a little bit of quarterback as well, but getting the ball, running the ball with him is going to be their best opportunity.
Oh, nice tackle. Great job by Montarius Freeman, one of those defensive linemen we told you earlier about from Oak Grove, making a nice tackle on Fountain.
Yeah, big MT. Watch Mr. Freeman here do his work. He does a nice job of moving down the line of scrimmage quickly. Working from his left to right there. Good tackle.
Somebody needs to block him, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to play your keys, and that's, you know, they're trying to fake you to where you would come inside, and Freeman doesn't take that bait. He stays on what he's supposed to do and make that play on the edge.
3rd down and 7. Giat has a word with one of his running backs. Play action fake. Giat throws to no one in particular. Holloway tries to snag it with one hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, they had an open receiver down there, and that was Eli Fountain, no doubt about that. If the ball had been inside nearer the hash mark, the collegiate hash marks, I would say here on this Demon Turpin Stadium field, if he throws it inside, he's going to have an open receiver, but it kind of sailed on him to the outside.
Branson Aguiard on for the 3rd time. Had an outstanding punt last time. Downed inside the 5-yard line. Holloway back to return. Holloway is a threat. He's been averaging, almost got a block. They might have got a hand on that thing, but it's still going to work out well for Grand Lake, as Aguiard's punt will be down at the 36-yard line. We'll take another break. Still no score in this Class 1A state championship game. A 41-yard punt we just saw. Back in the 1A state championship game, Creighton is off to the races. Creighton inside the 30 before he's finally brought down. Chasing him down for Grand Lake was Levi Muro, but again, Creighton nearly busted a long one.
Yeah, just quick pop hit inside. He's done this time and time again with this defense. They've held up on it inside, but now he gets around. They have a little stunt moving from the nose tackle inside, and Muro has to make a saving tackle. Otherwise, that's a quick score.
Creighton has been really good, especially in the postseason. 275 yards and 2 touchdowns in the semifinal win. Had another big game against Logansport, 231 yards rushing, and he's over 100 yards rushing in this one in the first half.
Taken down by number 63.
Runs with determination, powerful and quick is Ron Creighton.
Well, this offensive line does it. You got to look at the center, number 74, Bo Stamp, because everything starts there. You just got to turn one player, and he does a nice job of that, and that's where his running back has the ability to move on there. Ron Creighton gets behind his center, who's done a nice job today.
117 yards rushing on 13 carries for Creighton. Gets another opportunity, but that time he is met in the hole. Coleman McCready got him before he could get ahead of steam going. Only a gain of a yard, and it brings up 3rd down for Oak Grove.
Well, if you're Grand Lake, you look like you think you need to have 8 or 9 players down the line, at the line of scrimmage, because these quick-hitting runs inside here, they're doing a nice job of holding up, except for that one explosive play that we had a couple plays back.
Oak Grove 2 of 3 on 3rd downs today, facing 3rd down and 3 from the Grand Lake 20-yard line. Clement will give it to Creighton, who's got the 1st down, and he drags the tackler for about 7 to the 13. They'll move the chains again. Oak Grove now 5 first downs. And for the Oak Grove Tigers, they have re-entered the red zone fundraising red zone.
Yeah, one thing we haven't seen from this offense yet is a down-the-line option attack with the pitch out there. So look for that to come here with Deuce Clement. He can fake that ball in with Creighton, and then he'll have a pitch back down the line of scrimmage, see if that option works.
They'll give it to Creighton. Creighton just powering through the Grand Lake defense, and then there's a flag that flies at the end of that. Nathaniel Muro on the tackle, almost kind of in the direction of either a face mask or a potential holding call.
I'd be surprised if it was a holding. Likely more of a face mask, Jeff. Something down there in the pile.
Long discussion here. So far, Oak Grove has had 2 penalties against them for 23
Personal
yards.
Foul, face mask. Number 3 of the defense. That penalty is assessed half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. Replay 1st down. This leaves the ball short of the line to gain. 1st down.
Well, he crossed the line to gain. That means 1st down. I think he's saying it's 1st down inside the. Wow.
Correction. The result of the play was a 1st down. The penalty is assessed half the distance to the goal.
Yeah.
1st down.
There we go. Got it all straight.
Yeah. Looks like on the replay there, he's grabbing the helmet, but not the face mask. But it results in 1st and goal at the 2 for Oak Grove. Creighton, right side, and he is stood up. Good job by the Grand Lake defense.
Well, you had to be firm there.
Kent
Zumbraker does a nice job there of just standing him up in the hole, and then the rest of his teammates help to get that powerful runner down. Ron Creighton showing that he's got power and strength here in his ball game.
So 2nd down and goal at the 1.
Well, they just bang inside. I'm just waiting for them to pull that ball on an option play on the outside because it's open.
Whistles before the snap. Long discussion here with the officials.
Well, if you're visiting here from out of town or watching out of town, this is Northwestern State, and they're here on the Demon's Den, Demon's Field, going south here towards the end zone complex for Northwestern State. Grand Lake's been impressive running this football. How they run it inside. They just continue to put pressure on the defense, Jeff.
I'm not exactly sure what that discussion was about.
Yeah, they had to get their clock set or something. All right.
All right, why does the yard marker say it's first down?
Well, it is a first down. It's 1st and goal.
They ran it.
They had the marker standing up on the outside. They dropped the chains, which is what they needed to do.
The previous play is under review.
Okay. Well, this has been interesting as whenever we've gotten inside the 2-yard line. Here is our graphic on what is reviewable for state championship football games. Either the official can call for a review or the coach can challenge, and obviously potential scoring plays, change of possession. Pretty much the same type of things that get reviewed on the college and professional level. Same thing on the high school level as well.
Yeah, here it's that first down award and first down potential there, which is what they're looking at. So we're going to get that right here as we move forward.
Jimmy Graham to Jamie Ford is a full place to Ryan Carr.
This was the play before. See, I thought this was first down and goal here because after the face mask penalty.
Yeah, that should have been the first down and goal play.
And he doesn't get in the end zone, so it should be 2nd and goal from the way I figure it, 2nd and goal from the 1.
I believe you are correct, Jeff.
This is the play again.
Yeah, because that run doesn't result in a first down. It was first down with that rush. Likely going to be a 2nd down. Just going to adjust the marker on the far side of the field.
Well, they got to get another official involved in this discussion.
Well, the sun's about to peek out here. It's headed to 70-plus degrees here in Natchitoches today. It's going to be a beautiful day here. We've got a slate of ball games ahead of us here. This being the 1A State Championship Classic.
They could not have dialed up, at least for the first 2 days of this Prep Classic, any better weather. That was a bit of a concern of mine when the decision was made to move the Prep Classic from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, where you can obviously control the climate, to an outdoor venue like this, but it has worked out perfectly so far.
Yeah, it's going to be a great afternoon here of football and evening. So 3 games total here today, this being the first. That's got to be a 2nd down. We see the replay booth here. They're 3 booths down from us here in our announce position. They seem to be talking on headsets and microphones down there as well to the crew on the field.
For over 50 years, Cribbs Incorporated has been in residential roofing and sheet metal industry. If you need a roof repaired or replaced in Louisiana, go to CribbsIncorporated.com. People look up to their craftsmanship. Cribbs Incorporated.
After review, it is 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. The game clock will start on the ready for play.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, we got that all done.
Well, I could have told them that 3 minutes ago, Ronnie, or Gary.
We did. All right.
Deuce Clement under center. Creighton, does he get in? Yeah, the push gets him in there. Touchdown, Oak Grove, they're on the board. Our first score here in the Class 1A State Championship game. And Ron Creighton's been in the end zone a lot this season. His 18th rushing touchdown.
Pretty impressive. The 2 offensive guards, John Carter O'Neill, number 64, Cade Clink, number 61 in the center. Bo Stampley just do a good job of just moving that pile, pushing it forward, and you see Ron Creighton getting into the end zone for the first score of the ball game.
Extra point try coming up. James Clack. That was a 7-play, 64-yard drive. And the extra point try is through the uprights. So Oak Grove took a little longer than they're used to when it comes to getting on the scoreboard, but they finally do it. Led by their senior running back, Ron Creighton. We'll see if Grand Lake can respond when we come back. The Louisiana High School Athletic Association app. Download the new LHSAA Live app for scores, schedules, news, and more. Log on today. Jeff Palermo, Gary Reasons, and Ronnie Rance down on the sidelines as the Oak Grove Tigers have taken the lead as Creighton gets into the end zone. He's had a big first half, 137 yards rushing. Fountain looking for a little bit of a seam, and he got it up to the 28-yard line where he was tackled by Zach Hegwood. Grand Lake has only had 40 yards of offense in 15 plays. We'll see if they can get the offense going here.
Yeah, they had a fumble at the 1-yard line, if you remember, and so had all that yardage with Creighton doing the bulk of the work. 137 yards rushing on the day, impressive. And so you see the drive there on they did on the return drive after they had fumbled that ball away.
The defense is a big reason why Grand Lake is in the 1A state title game, but their offense could surely try to get some sort of response here. But man, the Tigers all over Elijah Fountain as he barely got back to the line of scrimmage as a host of Tigers were there to bring him down. Caleb Proctor. Coach Ryan Gregory says number 40 in black is one of the best linebackers he has ever coached. So high praise there.
Yeah, good size, good speed, good ability. 6'3", 255, a big plugger inside there. He knows how to come downhill and smack you. Pretty good tackler, and the young man can run well. So good player on defense.
Second down and 10. Oh, and now they lose the snap. But jumping on it, I believe, is Giat. And it's now 3rd and long for Grand Lake.
Yeah, you'd like to get your offense on track here. Grand Lake would take a little pressure off that defense, get this ball moving, move the chains. Both these teams are used to holding on to the football with their offenses being able to move it, and these defenses have shown up that they're pretty stout themselves.
3rd down and 11. Giat will drop back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Flings it downfield. He's got 2 receivers, and one of them makes the grab. I don't know if that was how it was designed, but it works out well for Grand Lake as Gabe Boudreau makes the catch, 29 yards on the pitch and catch.
Well, Gabe Boudreau is a wide receiver. He's on the numbers out on this play, but you got the running back goes through the line, Elijah Fountain, and he actually can get there. So Fountain on the left, number 1, gets there, but he's throwing it out there to the wide receiver and where he's going. So interesting here. So that's got to be interesting how that all worked. So
and one of the Oak Grove assistants not happy at all on the result of that play. So a little momentum here for Grand Lake. First completion for either team in this contest. And then getting a chance to run the football is Levi Murrell, who averages 6.5 yards a carry, a guy who can break tackles, has excellent pad level when he runs. And it's 2nd down and 8 for Grand Lake at the Oak Grove 40-yard line.
Again, the split backs. This is a veer offense here. This is an option attack.
Gave it again to Levi Murrell for a couple more yards. 3rd down and manageable this time at least for Grand Lake, about 3rd and 5.
So really the concepts are very similar for both offenses. You know, you want these quick hitters inside. You're just trying to move one player just a little bit to get a crease for your quick back through the hole.
So on 3rd down and 5. They'll hand it off to Fountain. Fountain got hit behind the line of scrimmage. He stretches, but he's going to be about a yard shy of the 1st down. Nice job by Fountain. His forward momentum looked like he was going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Still ended up picking up 4 yards.
Well, great awareness by Fountain. That's an impressive move there from the young man. And being able to spin, he might have got away a little early there. But as he gets hit in contact, watch the arm go out. He's on a player. So you give him the spot. 4th down and about a foot here, it looks like.
Javante Morris, a junior linebacker, brought him down. 4th and less than a yard. And we have a flag on the near side. And it looks like it's going to be on Oak Grove. They may have lined up offsides.
Yeah, get a free set of downs here. Move the change on the 1st down with that penalty. So
Dead ball, encroachment. Number 40 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. Yardage results in a 1st down.
Call to number 40, Caleb Proctor, up there perhaps too far into the line of scrimmage.
Less than 2 minutes to go before halftime. Grand Lake would love to get on the scoreboard and even this thing up.
They got Eli Fountain. A little bit of a slot position at the hash mark near the top of your screen there. Get him outside of the backfield.
Jet sweep. Fountain, though, got taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Bryson Baker on the tackle. Bryson Baker, a kid, has a great motor, great against the run, and also a good pass rusher for Oak Grove.
Well, he's just so stout inside there. You're not going to move him. The 300-pounder does a good job of holding his own, and Big 78 does a nice job of just getting off the block and then taking that Elijah Fountain when he comes through that hole and making that nice tackle. So doing a good job.
You're looking there at Dalton Allen, one of the leaders of that Oak Grove defense, hardly ever leaves the field. And we might have a timeout called by Grand Lake, and we do, with 1:21 left to go before halftime. Grand Lake on the move, but facing 2nd down and 10.
Timeout, Grand Lake. This is their 2nd charge timeout of the half.
So they'll have one more timeout to go here.
The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation welcomes you to Natchitoches. While in town for the Prep Classic, visit the
Been a very good first half for the Oak Grove running back, Ron Creighton, who's rushed for over 100 yards in this game and has the lone touchdown. He's been able to produce some big plays for this Tigers offense.
Well, they've done a good job of opening up some holes, and he's exploited the defense on several carries. We talked about the totals, about 137 yards rushing in his ball game, and he's had some opportunities to get through there and almost breaking them, but it's been tough going though because this Grand Lake defense is done a good job of, just being resilient, only giving up the 1 score there in this football game. So Ron Creighton's done a great job here running this football for Oak Grove.
2nd down and 10. They're going to try to throw it again, and they get it to Fountain. Fountain struggling to get the 1st down marker and get out of bounds, and he did. Man, it seemed to me if Fountain just kept running and tried to beat his defender, he may have been able to get a few more yards, but Javante Morris tracks him down.
Well, I think he could have gotten the 1st down pretty easily, but he wanted to make the big play. He wanted to do the stop and start thing that he could get back on the inside. Good job here from kind of to get that ball out there. Good throw and catch and good run after the catch.
So 1st down, up the middle. Good hard run here from Levi Muro. Gets about 6 yards.
Eli Fountain out of the ball game, giving him a little break there.
Grand Lake has entered the red zone fundraising red zone for the first time in this football game. 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, under a minute here in this half.
10th play of the drive. Going back to the air is Guillat. He's got a man open. Touchdown, Grand Lake. Oh, no, he stepped out of bounds.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Great route, good ball. Got to know where you're at
The
as a
ruling
receiver.
on the field is that of an incomplete pass.
Kyler Little, who has caught 4 touchdown passes, he was open. Had to make a bit of an adjustment to the football. We'll see if He was able to get a foot in bounds.
Yeah, watch the top of your screen there, just outside the numbers. That's him out there. That's Kyler Little, and as he goes, little stop and start. There you go. Little fake it, and he's good.
Is under video review.
Yeah, he may have a touchdown, folks. That may be that left foot inbounds with 1 foot in. We'll take a look as he comes down. He targets, the ball goes up, and he spins. Which of his feet do they come down on the line, out of bounds?
No, he's out of bounds.
Out. Got the toes out.
Clearly.
Call there by the officials on the field.
And nice job by Zach Hegwood to just push him enough to make sure he got out of bounds. So this should not take long to review this one. We've seen a fair share of reviews already in this first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at your first half highlights, stats. We'll hear from both coaches as well. Two coaches that are very well respected in the high school football rankings or in this state by other coaches. Here's the call from Scott Mayu.
Ruling on the field of an incomplete pass has been confirmed. Down.
Yeah, so take a look at it one more time on that foot that just gets the boundary.
It was up in the air, and just got to be able to pull yourself straight down. Gravity works, but Hegwood, as you said, does push a little bit. That might have influenced him enough just to get out of bounds, so heads up play by him as well.
So now it's 3rd down and 5. You got 39 seconds left. They do show the replays here at Turpin Stadium, so when they initially showed that one shot, you may have heard the roar from the crowd as they recognize what was going on. Guillat has time over the middle. Fountain, did he catch it? Did he grab it? He's looking for a call.
He caught it, but he was out of bounds, did not have the control of it in the field of play. He caught the ball, but it was out of bounds as he had
The
control.
ruling on the field is an incomplete pass, 4th down.
Fountain can't believe it.
He said, I caught that thing, I caught it, but it went beyond the end line. Here at this stadium, the white area around the field is the out of bounds area, and he ran right through the end zone. Take a look here as Eli Fountain goes through the back of the end zone. He's got a hand on it. When does he have control? His knee was on the outside white line as he grabbed control of that football, so I think it's a good call by the officials.
Fountain has just seen the replay. He still thinks he caught that, but I have to agree with the officials here. I mean, he catches it, obviously, but I don't think he has possession of it when he's in bounds. So
yeah, it's all about control. When did you have control of that football? And this is the best look at it here that we're going to have. He gets his left hand on it, but when does he have control? When does he establish control? His right knee is down on the white area, and he's there. So this is going to be a good at the field level angle look at this. But first and foremost, that's a tremendous effort and a concentration on the football to make that catch. But his right knee is going to be on the white line.
Has decided to use their one-game challenge.
It's on the line. That's a good call.
The
That's a good look, guys. That's
of an
perfect
incomplete
work.
pass is going
And you
to
see the
replay.
official looking directly at it. He has that best view of it, and he called him no catch. If you let this run, you'll see it's going to be incomplete by that official, and you'll see that he calls that because he sees that knee on the ground as he catches that football.
I would also say he's still trying to, even though he have that still frame, he is still trying to get possession of that football. It's still kind of moving around in his hands.
Regardless, he's going to be out of bounds, so he's not inbound when he gets control of the football. That's the whole premise here.
You're right, a terrific effort, and just how about that from Grand Lake to have 2 passes like that and comes so close to getting a touchdown.
Inches, just inches, either one of them.
And remember, this is a challenge by Grand Lake. They have challenged this call, so they used their last timeout, and this would be their only challenge as long as it's not overruled.
Yeah, one
if
challenge
it is
per team.
Yeah.
He's open.
He's begging for that.
He wants it. He
Yeah.
wants it. This means something to him. It would give him a chance to knock this game up with the extra point. I think that's going to be, the call is going to be confirmed. Not necessarily stand, but I think this call will be confirmed.
Right.
Determined to bring a booth review, and the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass was confirmed. It will be 4th down. And Lake has their one punch.
I'll tell you, what a great job by the back judge. The back judge stands at the back of the end zone, and he is there for that specific purpose to look at the line. So he's looking at that play. We showed that other angle, and that knee right there, he's looking directly at it, and then he decided to make that call. He did that right there, and a non-catch. That's the best look at it right there. All right, still got a little time here, 33 seconds to go, and they're on fourth down. They're choosing not to kick a field goal here.
Now, Grand Lake, I don't think has any more timeouts, though.
Timeout, Oak Grove.
Okay.
This is their first charge out of the half.
I saw one of the officials motion it was a Grand Lake timeout. So Oak Grove wants to talk about it here.
It's fourth down here for Grand Lake. I guess not confident enough in their field goal kicking team to attempt that field goal. Electing to send the offense back out there on the field.
2020 Prep Classic this year from Natchitoches. I think a lot of people might not realize this, Gary, but Natchitoches is actually the oldest city in the state of Louisiana. How about that?
Yeah, founded in 1714. Oldest city, the Louisiana Purchase. A lot of history here in this small community. Beautiful city on the Cane River. Historic downtown Natchitoches, home of the City of Lights. Christmas festival here annually. Christmas lights are still up and going on through the new year. It's a beautiful city.
Fourth down and 5 as Grand Lake looks to try to tie this thing up before halftime. Now, looks like Guillotte is the quarterback. Fountain's the running back. Guillotte looking for the end zone again. No, off the hands of the receiver. Oh, man. 3 tries to the end zone, and Grand Lake comes up short each time. That was Kyler Little who could not bring it in.
Well, this is a good ball throw by Connor Guillotte. So he does a good job getting it out there, and Kyler Little, unfortunately, unable to pull that ball in. He has a couple of hands on it, and the ball just looks like it's just a touch outside, maybe.
First down, Tigers.
See the end of this catch here, potentially, and
yep.
Wow, what a good toss.
Boy, Grand Lake, they'll be kicking themselves about that opportunity. So close. So close. So now Oak Grove looks like they'll just run out the clock here in this first half, go to the locker room up 7-0 over Grand Lake. Oak Grove, the top seed in 1A. Grand Lake, the 3 seed. 8-1 season for Grand Lake. Oak Grove, 10-0. And these two teams have battled hard here in this football game. And the Tigers, who really have dominated during this postseason play, finding themselves in a battle so far in this game. Oak Grove had outscored their opponents in the postseason 181-32, winning by an average of 50 points a contest. But here they only lead at 7-0.
Well, Oak Grove has done a good job running that football, and has been mostly all of Ron Creighton doing that activity. 189 yards rushing in that first half for Oak Grove, and they've done a nice job on the ground, pounding that ball into the end zone for the only score of the ball game.
Both teams traveled into the red zone fundraising red zone in 2 occasions for both teams. One occasion for both teams failed to score any points. The head football coach for the Oak Grove Tigers, Ryan Gregory, is there with Ronnie Rance, Hub International Sideline Report.
Thanks, Jeff. Down here with Coach Gregory. And, Coach, a hard-fought first half. How did you see it from your sideline?
Just what you said, a physical first half. We shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times with some busted assignments on defense and then turning the football over, deep in the red zone. We can't do that against Grand Lake because they're going to limit your possessions with how they run their offense. They're doing a really good job of staying on the field, but we was able to come back, put a good drive together, and get a score.
A lot of stops and starts, reviews, and that sort of thing. What do you tell your team during those breaks?
Just try to stay focused. I mean, it's different for them. We don't have that all year, so that, messes up the flow of the game. game, but I mean, it's part of the championship game, so we've got to be ready for that in the second half, and we've got to make some adjustments.
5 state titles in your school history. You're going after number 6 today. What's it like playing here, used to being in the Dome or elsewhere? What's this experience like for you and your kids?
It didn't matter if we played on the cow pasture. Our guys were going to be ready to play. Love the experience. Natchitoches has done a great job of putting a great event on. We're awfully glad to be here.
Coach, good luck second half.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Jeff.
I'll say this, the cow pasture has been a very good option from a lot of different coaches. We've heard that on more than one occasion talking with these coaches for this Prep Classic. We'll take a break. It's halftime of the Class 1A championship game. Time to check that phone and stick with us through this halftime as we have a great second half coming up on Cox Sports Television. 7-0 is our score as Oak Grove leading Grand Lake at halftime of the Class 1A state championship game. Let's look at our first half highlights brought to you by ISC, sponsor of the LHSAA All Academic Awards. And we've seen a lot from Oak Grove senior running back Ron Creighton.
Yeah, he's done a great job running the football for this football team. When they put the ball in his hands, he just pops through there, and he's had the opportunity to break free, but they've got him on shoestring tackles. He hasn't had the explosive run all the way to the end zone, but he's definitely been a big powerhouse runner in this football game. He popped in the only scorer of this ball game here to give them that early lead, so that's what they're looking for. You know, Grand Lake came back in his football game and had some really close calls as you see the ball thrown into the end zone, caught by the receiver, but deemed to be out of bounds. And then the second one as well with Elijah Fountain on the back end line. So a couple of plays there that possibly could have been touchdowns for Grand Lake to knock this thing up. And here's the third one that just almost goes into the receiver's hands, but just outstretched his hands. But good close ball game that we've got here, Jeff, to start this second half.
For Oak Grove, 189 yards of total offense, and to the 93 for Grand Lake. And the third downs, Oak Grove has been able to maintain possession 4 of 5. A big turnover. Oak Grove fumbled it as they were about ready to score at the 1-yard line, and that has allowed this to remain a one-score game. We'll take a break. More coming up from Natchitoches. This is the Class 1A state championship game. Second half set to get underway from Turpin Stadium in Natchitoches on the campus of Northwestern State on a beautiful Monday afternoon in the Class 1A state championship game. Oak Grove leading Grand Lake, and we are not quite ready for the second half just yet. So a little bit of a delay. Kind of fits what we saw in the first half. A lot of stop and starts, but I think we're set to go now. Grand Lake kicking it off for the first time in this football game. This is Jesus Morales, who gets a strong right leg into it, but unfortunately, that's going to sail out of bounds for Grand Lake. And so Oak Grove will have an opportunity to get the ball in pretty good field position to begin the second half.
Yeah, I'd expect to see a little bit of really what we've seen here in the first half with both these football teams. They're both, you know, they want to run the football. That's their identity. But Grand Lake possibly a little bit more in the passing game, explosive play capability. We'll see how that unfolds when they get back on offense. But we'll see the Oak Grove football team out here first on offense.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. By option, the receiving team has elected to put the ball in play 25 yards in advance of the previous spot. First down.
There you take a look at Oak Grove's drives today. Outside of the first drive, they've been pretty successful. Had that great 12-play, 94-yard drive that ended with a fumble at the 1-yard line. Creighton, a big first half, 141 yards rushing. In this, they come out throwing in the second half, and the pass is too far for Zach Hegwood. Deuce Clement did not attempt a pass. Remember, they actually came out throwing to begin the football game. They tried to do a little trickeration with Bud Holloway, who tried to throw it back to Clement, and that ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage, or deflected in the backfield. So now Oak Grove is 0 for 2 when it comes to passing today.
Just hadn't worked for him, but you know what? They just hand off inside there to number 2, Ron Creighton. It's done all the work they've needed to do.
You're right about that. That's Hegwood in motion. 3 wide receivers in this package for Oak Grove, and they give it to Creighton, and he is dragged down to the ground as Coleman McCready making another tackle. Third down for Oak Grove coming up. They were 4 of 5 on third down in the first half.
Yeah, if you're Grand Lake, you're thinking, hey, we got a chance to get off the field here. This is 3rd and 7. They're kind of behind the chains. Don't give up an explosive big run and you'll force a punt here is the thought that you have to have on defense.
So 3rd down and 7. Clement in the backfield, 2 Hornets after him. Now 1 Hornet, and he throws it away. There is no one in the vicinity of that. And that will be intentional grounding. It's not like in the NFL or college, once you get out of the pocket, you can just throw it away. But great pursuit by Grand Lake as they got in the backfield, and they spoiled that play from the beginning.
It'll be intentional grounding and loss of down here. So
Intentional grounding, number 7 of the offense. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down. It's 4th down.
So Grand Lake's defense, which has been impressive all season long, allowing just 15 points a game, comes up with a 3-and-out on the opening possession of the second half.
good job there defensively. The 5-2 alignment that they run does a nice job of keeping everything in front, and then the pressure just kind of closing in on Deuce Clement.
Dalton Allen, the punt. His first punt went 38 yards, ended up inside the 20-yard line. Eli Fountain ready to return it. Good pressure on Allen. He gets it away, and that's a beauty. And then Fountain gets out of there. And this takes a sideways bounce, and then it is downed at the 35-yard line by Oak Grove's Artavian Kraft. That was a 39-yard punt for Allen. So he's been fairly consistent on his punts. And now we see Grand Lake's offense for the first time in the second half.
Well, Jeff, I think they've just got to make some little bit of adjustment here with Grand Lake. You definitely want to put the ball in the hands of your playmaker, and that's Elijah Fountain. Big Eli does a good job when the ball's in his hands, and get him an explosive play capability, get him around the edge, let him turn on that speed. I know he's wanting to make a big play here for his football team.
Averaging less than 3 yards a carry, disruption in the backfield, and that just didn't allow the ball carrier Levi Murrell to get going. Murrell was also shut down in that first half. Held to 21 yards on 7 carries. He's usually averaging 6.5 yards a carry. He ends up getting back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it against this tough Oak Grove defense.
It really has. The Tiger defense has been really stingy up front. They've been able to take away most of the dive plays here against this Veer-style offense.
Lane Warren, the leading tackler for Oak Grove. 6 tackles in that first half, adding to the 43 that he had during the season. 2nd down and 10, and again, nothing happening at all for Levi Murrell as he is tossed to the turf. Great job by Javante Morris, who now has 6 tackles, Gary.
Yeah, now Morris, the defensive end, comes off the block there and just gets into the backfield. Watch number 9 here just show up in a big way and just come right down the line of scrimmage and make that tackle on the dive back. So forcing a 3rd down here, a long 3rd down behind the chains, 3rd and 11 here for Grand Lake.
Giat was 2 of 7 for 40 yards in that first half. Completed a big 30-yard pass to Gabe Boudreaux, a senior wideout. Kyler Little is another guy they'll look to. Giat, he'll go deep. His man's got to step on the defender, and a great job by Kyler Little. Did a great job looking back into the sun. And there's another big first down for Grand Lake, who's now 4 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. That's 22 yards to the senior wideout Little.
Looks like this kind of Giat's just trying to throw the ball out there to a spot, lets his receiver go to it. Good ball adjustment there on that football on the outside. Kyler Little pulls that ball in.
Got to give credit to the center, Derek David, who's in there. Smaller center for Grand Lake. They came into this game on that O-line, averaging 240 pounds, but Styron got hurt early on. And that's maybe one of the reasons why Grand Lake is having a hard time trying to run up the middle, as they gave it to Murrell again. And he has found no running room at all early on in this second half.
Well, anytime you lose your starting center, who usually is going to be the most galvanizing player up there, with all the calls and all the line adjustments, it's really difficult to make that change. But Derek DeVee doing a good job with himself, what he's able to do in there, just kind of holding together.
So at the 45-yard line is Grand Lake. Giat, pressure, man in his face, throws one up there. Jump ball knocked away. Good job by Little. He had to go from wide receiver to defensive back to make sure that Bud Holloway didn't get his 6th interception of the season.
Yeah, Bud Holloway does a nice job getting out there and making sure that he covers what he needs to cover, and then that ball tossed up in the air. Almost a free ball there for either player here. Who's going to catch it at the high point, and Holloway decides to knock that ball down.
So 3rd and 11 for Grand Lake, who's had to rely on the pass to move the football today. Not what you normally see from a split back veer offense. They pitch it to Fountain. He can't handle it. Ball on the ground. Oak Grove football at the 50-yard line. Yep. Easy turnover. Bryson Baker gets his hands on it.
Well, Baker showing his athleticism. He showed up quite a bit here early on in this football game, and now here early in the second half makes a huge play here. A little pitch to the outside. Unable to handle it is their big playmaker, Eli Fountain, and it just goes through his hands up over his shoulder pads, and you see Big Baker there. He makes a good play on that football and recovers the fumble.
First turnover of the day for Grand Lake's offense, and Oak Grove sets up shop at the 50-yard line. 8:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Creighton stumbles forward for 2.
Well, I'm still waiting for Oak Grove to pull the ball with the quarterback, Deuce Clement, and then go down the line of scrimmage and pitch that football, because it is set up and it is there, it looks like, because they're committing so many players inside to the run game to stop Ron Creighton, who they need to account for, but at the same time, they need to defend the field. See how this offense unfolds.
Grand Lake, who has allowed just 20 points in 3 postseason games, holding their own. Here's a pitch, and there's some open running room this time. Zach Hegwood, and then there's a flag, and this might add 15 yards to this end of the run.
Well, that's the exact play that I was calling for. That's the down-the-line opportunity for them to pull the ball out from Creighton and have the quarterback, Deuce Clement, go down the line of scrimmage and pitch that ball either sideways or even forward, because almost a little forward pass, you'd think. Here, we'll take a look at it here. Pull the ball out. That is there. The corner there is there, and he can take that ball further.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 9 of the defense. That penalty is a set 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
They may have the wrong number there. It's Nathaniel Murrell who actually made the penalty out of bounds, but number 3 for the defense.
Oak Grove now averaging 7 yards a carry, while Grand Lake is averaging just 2. That's a big story in this football game, with Oak Grove up 7-0 and looking for more. Under 8 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Creighton got stuffed at the line. Bryant Williams with the bear hug and bringing him down.
I'm not sure they could block him.
No, it's tough to block.
Big fella does a good job getting off the block and wreaking havoc in the backfield, and that's a down-the-line play. You know, he was actually, I think, on the opposite side of the center and goes down the line to make that tackle.
Bryant Williams, again, a transfer from Barb, and he still has another year left, and we asked Coach Wainwright if he thought he would come back for his senior season. Said it's up to the kid and the family's decision, and if Bryant Williams decides to go back to Barb, he said he'll shake his hand and wish him the best of luck. Williams in the backfield once again, and Creighton just will not go down. Boy, they were just holding on to the jersey for dear life. Grant Trahan also got a fistful of that jersey to make sure Creighton wasn't able to bust a big one.
Well, what an effort by Bryant Williams, though, going through there. Watch the big fellow, number 64, get back there on Creighton, pull the jersey. That's 1 pull on the jersey, and the number 2 pull on the jersey. They're just dragging players. My goodness. Ron Creighton, a powerful runner, but defensively getting through there, the big fella, Bryant Williams, showing that he's got the stuff.
Oak Grove has now rushed for over 200 yards in this game, so that's the first time Grand Lake's defense has allowed 200 yards plus rushing since that loss to Oberlin. Creighton stiff arming a defender, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down by a yard.
Yeah, Cole Mott coming over from his linebacker spot. If he doesn't make this tackle, it's going to go to the end zone for a touchdown by Ron Creighton. So this offense here from Oak Grove definitely, I think, has kind of found their stride. They've been able to do things inside with Ron Creighton. You saw the pitch and pull from Deuce Clement also to get that ball out to the outside, and So they're humming right now.
Inside the red zone, fundraising red zone, are the Oak Grove Tigers. 4th down and 1. Clement should have the first down, and he does, to the 11-yard line. As he needed 1, he got 3.
The little trio in the offense there, the 2 guards and the center. We talked about them in the first half. Getting those tough yards, and when they come off the ball, Jeff, they come off kind of low and trying to push those guys out of there. So it's what you want. You get that first down and just push on in there, and that center does everything he needs to do, just Bo Stampley just kind of organizing things, make sure there's no penetration. They get that first down.
From the 11-yard line now. Hegwood gets a carry, and Hegwood may have gotten 3.
Rare opportunity for Hegwood.
Yeah, well, he's gotten a couple of carries here actually in this half. Brett King came crashing down to make the tackle on Hegwood.
Now, most of the work's been done by Creighton inside, and he's been a workhorse. There's no doubt about it. This season coming into this ball game, 1,394 yards rushing to his credit on the season. That's tremendous work. In this ball game, he's over 150 yards already rushing.
Over the middle, wide open. There's Dalton Allen. Touchdown, Tigers. Set up beautifully. And it was too easy as Dalton Allen, his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. A 9-yard TD grab, and now Oak Grove has grabbed the 13-0 lead.
Well, this powerful running game really makes you commit to everyone to the line of scrimmage, to the run game, and then it allows those receivers to get down the field. Dalton Allen from his tight end position, making himself wide available. Look at the top of your screen there. Nobody accounts for him. They're looking all for the run plays, and Dalton Allen wide open in the end zone.
First completion of the football game for Oak Grove. Now James Clack will try the extra point. Flags all over the place, though.
Defensive offsides and the move they came across, I thought. Ball through the post, they might take this.
False start. Number 74 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
Pushes him back, obviously 5 yards. Clack looks like he has a strong enough leg to still get this through the uprights. The holder is Thomas Clack. James Clack is the place kicker. And that is through the uprights. So Oak Grove now is up by 2 touchdowns with 4:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Deuce Clement, his 14th touchdown pass of the season.
Welcome back, everyone, in Natchitoches. Sports fans in Louisiana, when you travel to the City of Lights for the Christmas Festival, 6 weeks of November and December. Also, don't forget to stop by the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, open year-round on 800 Front Street, right in downtown historic Natchitoches, from 10 until 4:30 on Tuesday through Saturday, and open all 4 days of the high school football state championship.
Here is the kick return from Grand Lakes' Levi Murrell as he takes it out across the 35. Let's send it back down to Ronnie Rance. Ronnie?
Yeah, just letting you know, we opened up the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame all 4 days of the state championship. So fans that are coming up here today, tomorrow, anytime this week, make sure you get here early and plenty enough time. It's open from 10 until 4:30 and see some of the great history, including our own Mr. Gary Reasons is in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
From the 37-yard line here for Grand Lake. Connor Giat. Oh, he got stumbled back as Bryson Baker just moving the center backwards. And I really think at this point, Caleb Stryon's injury early in this football game is it's caused a problem for Grand Lake's offense. And I know when we heard from Coach Wainwright at halftime, he said next man up, but You go from a 200-pound center to a guy that's only 150 pounds. That's 170 pounds. They've lost a little bulk there in the middle going up against a 300-pound nose guard. Here's Fountain on the jet sweep. Can he find a seam? That was a good run. Stopped shy of the first down by a couple of yards.
You see why you want to put the ball in his hands, because he's electrifying when he's able to get in open space with his speed, be able to make an explosive play there. So Elijah Fountain comes on the speed little jet sweep there, gets into a little crease and chop his legs out underneath him. Brings up 3rd and short here.
So 3rd down and 2. Grand Lake desperately needs to convert here on this 3rd down opportunity. They are 4 of 10. Here they run the jet sweep the other way. Now Fountain's going to throw it to a wide open receiver. Kyler Little. Touchdown, Grand Lake, 55 yards and no flags.
Yeah, they're just waiting to set that play up. Jeff, you and I were talking about these guys throwing at halftime, and Eli Fountain played a little bit of quarterback early on this year, and he has a left arm that can throw that football very well. Also a baseball player, 90-mile-an-hour pitcher for that baseball team, and Elijah Fountain comes up with a big toss there with his left hand to a speedy receiver on the outside. Kyler Little completely wide open. They're all trying to defend the run, and they toss it right down to the end zone.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. Jesus Morales on the extra point try, and it is good. And Grand Lake responds with a 3-play, 63-yard drive to get themselves back in this football game with just over 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, we're back here with Grand Lake putting their first points on the board here. 7 points here with the left arm of Elijah. And he's doing a great job here, doing a good job. Eli Fountain does a good job with his left hand, tossing that ball out there. Kyler Little making himself available. A little speed jet sweep there. Defense unprepared for that. Again, we take a look at it here. This is how it's done from line of scrimmage, and left arm toss there. Excellent throw and catch and a touchdown for Grand Lake.
Holloway on the return for Oak Grove, and he's got some speed. Into Grand Lake territory. Holloway, one man to beat. Touchdown, Tigers, just like that. 86 yards on the return. Not the first time Bud Holloway has returned a kick for a touchdown. He's got 3 punt returns for a touchdown, averaging 27 yards a return, and that's what he can do. He is such a weapon back there, and just like that, Oak Grove has their 2-touchdown lead right back.
Yeah, special teams, huge play here, kickoff return. Bud Holloway doing a great job of returning this football for the touchdown. Huge play in the state championship game.
Good student as well as Bud Holloway, a 3.5 GPA. 85 yards is what they officially call that kickoff return from the senior. The extra point is good. And a couple of really explosive plays by both of these teams.
Well, first of all, you got Elijah Fountain tossing a touchdown, thinking that your Grand Lake is going to get back in his football game, and all of a sudden, here you go with Oak Grove, kick return. Bud Holloway takes it, weaves through there, and he's got the speed. He's going to make the kicker miss, no doubt about that, and takes it all the way to the end zone. That's a good answer on special teams for a kickoff return for a touchdown. Good blocking out front, no penalties there.
Return to punt for a touchdown in the 59-12 win over Homer in the semifinals. He's been starting since his freshman season, just an explosive player, great punt returner. Not a big kid, but he's very strong and obviously fast. No one able to lay a hand on him on that return. So Grand Lake, boy, you start to feel good about yourselves for a second, and the defending 1A champs come back and punch you right back in the mouth. Let's see how Fountain can respond here from his own 3. And a nice job by the kickoff coverage team to bring him down at the 21-yard line. The first Oak Grove player to make contact with him was Caleb Proctor, and now Fountain is slow to get up. And man, Grand Lake cannot afford to lose him if they want to try to come back and win this football game.
Yeah, I thought that was a physical tackle that time by Caleb Proctor, who is their middle linebacker from Oak Grove, and a big fella, 6'3", 255-pounder. Pretty good tackle on Elijah Fountain.
Fountain also plays on the basketball team. You mentioned good left-handed pitcher who throws between 88 to 90 miles per hour. Helped the basketball team reach the semifinals last year. And Coach Wainwright told us he thought that by playing basketball, which is such a rhythm sport, kind of helped him out on the football field. We'll look at it again here to see where the injury may have occurred.
Proctor goes by and just pulls him down. He's falling down on the shoulder here, which
yeah,
I think is
that's where he's hurt, is that left or that right shoulder, I should say. And a lot of weight came crashing down onto the turf here at Turpin Stadium.
Well, hopefully he's going to be all right.
Also a power forward on the basketball team. Wants to play in college somewhere, and yeah, I hope he is okay. Maybe just a bit of a stinger there for Fountain. As there you look at the folks from Grand Lake, whole bunch of them from Cameron Parish, everything that they have been through to see this team get to the state championship game. It's been a emotional release and inspiring for everyone there who has to rebuild once again. I tell you, Cameron Parish has seen some devastating hurricanes. Obviously, Hurricane Rita in 2005. A few years later, Hurricane Ike came. And then they get a double dose of it this year with Hurricane Laura and then Hurricane Delta. 1st and 10 from the 21 for Grand Lake. And nothing happening again. They cannot run up the middle against Bryson Baker in this Oak Grove defense. It's just not going to happen today.
Yeah, it's just these quick dives that are not happening as well. That's what they want. So Nate Morrell and Levi Morrell both in the ball game in the backfield. They're just getting eat up here by this Tiger defense.
And another Grand Lake player down on the ground. This is Zach Johnson. So Zach Johnson, a senior, 5'7", 210 pounds.
And he's right in the mix there. He's their right guard typically, and they're checking out his left leg.
What a job Coach Jeff Wainwright has done getting back to the Hurricanes. They ended up losing 2 players that had to move away because of the storms. Roster of 38. But this has been an unbelievable experience for the Grand Lake community. Calls it the power of sports that has given the inspiration to the people there that they can rebuild and help everyone heal emotionally after what the storms did to their community. There's the starting center, Caleb Styron, who went down with a left leg injury. And now you lose another offensive lineman against this tough Oak Grove defense. Hopefully Zach Johnson can return.
Yeah, Zach Johnson walking off and kind of stiff leg there on the left side. Hopefully that's just a cramp of something or something.
2nd down and 12 now for Grand Lake. Late 3rd quarter of this 1A state championship game. Giat, pressure, just throws it out there. Holloway's got an interception now. There is a flag. Holloway looking for the end zone. He's in there. But we'll see what the flag is about. That's a 37-yard interception return for a touchdown.
Well, the flag was thrown near where the wide receiver was in contact with potentially one of the defenders, so we'll see how they sort this out. He's liking his opportunity there with the touchdown.
Pass interference, number 3 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Penalty yardage results in a first down.
There you have it.
I need to see this again, Kerry, because I think they got the wrong person here as far as who committed the pass interference. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there. It's on the outside. That's Ty Porter on the outside who actually grabbed the receiver, didn't allow him to come back to the football.
Correction, the foul was on number 1.
There you go.
Number
All right,
1.
And we'll take a look here down the field, and that's exactly what happens. Ty Porter has a hand on Kyler Little, not allowing him to come back to the football, and that's going to negate that Bud Holloway interception.
From the 34-yard line. Grand Lake tries the right side, nothing happening as Levi Murrell stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
And the defensive end, Javante Morris, who's played well over there, came down to squeeze that play and make that tackle. It's not an easy day of running this football, especially when you have a couple of linemen in and out of the lineup.
Second down.
For this Grand Lake football team.
And you don't have Eli Fountain out there either. Eli Fountain, I'm looking at him. He has got the helmet off. I think he's trying to readjust the shoulder pads. We'll see if he's able to return. Second down and 9. Oh, nothing happening there as Gia tried to keep it around the right end, and he ran into Caleb Proctor.
Good square up tackle at the time by Proctor, just mirroring the quarterback as he goes down the line of scrimmage, and he turns up and makes a nice tackle, brings up 3rd and long here for this Grand Lake team. Haven't been too impressive running the football against this defense, that's for sure. The defense has played very, very well. So take a look at Eli Fountain on the sideline. He's gingerly holding that right arm.
That's not a good sign, obviously, for the Hornets.
That right shoulder area.
So we'll see what happens. Obviously, Giat on 3rd and long might be trying to get the ball here to Kyler Little. He's looking in his direction, missed him, and he nearly threw an interception to Holloway. Grand Lake down by 2 touchdowns late in the 3rd quarter. 4th down and 7. Will they keep the offense on the field? No, here comes the punt team. And that allows Holloway to return a punt. Here's the punt. Line drive punt. Hegwood stays away. This is going to work out really well for the Grand Lake punter. Drake Sturley's 49-yard punt. Let's send it down to the field with a Hub International sideline report. Here's
Thanks,
Ronnie
Jeff,
Reyes.
down here on the sidelines. You know, if you notice, one of the faces that are down here, the line judge for the game today, is former LSU Tiger and NFL running back Eddie Fuller, who was a fantastic high school football player of his own at Leesville for the Wampus Cats. Well, Eddie, of course, went to LSU, and everyone in the state of Louisiana remembers the famous earthquake game where Tommy Hodson hit Eddie Fuller in the back of the end zone to beat Auburn back in 1988. Well, now we know what he moonlights doing in his free time. Eddie Fuller, the former Tiger and NFL great, is a line judge today in the state championship game.
Pretty cool story there is Creighton carrying a tackler, carrying a second tackler, will not go down, and then a flag comes in late. And this might add another 15 yards to that carry.
Yeah, out of bounds. He hit him late, out of bounds, no doubt about that. Kent Zimbrecker from Brescia is also on the sideline. So,
was it Eddie Fuller who threw that flag?
had to do some work over there.
That was in his vicinity.
I'm not sure he threw the flag
After
or
the play
maybe
was
the
over. Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Number 6 of the defense. 15 yards added to the end of the play. Penalty yardage results in a first down.
Here comes the end here, so we'll take a look at it. Creighton goes to sideline. Out of bounds here. Watch.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Kent. Does he pull the flag? Does he pull the flag? He's a side judge. There he goes. Looking at him. There you go.
How about that? You don't get the isolation replay on the side judge too many times, but we bring it to you here on the Prep Classic.
There you go. And then Ron Creighton goes into work.
Yeah. Creighton, 158 yards rushing, a touchdown. As he has been trying to become back-to-back MVPs for Oak Grove in these 2 state title games. Second down and 4, Oak Grove now. Check with the sidelines. That's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. As the Tigers score a couple touchdowns in this 3rd quarter, they got a big kickoff return from Bud Holloway after Grand Lake got on the scoreboard. And the Tigers are close to back-to-back titles. Our 4th quarter of the Class 1A State Championship game brought to you by Dudley DeBosier, defending the 4th quarter. Jeff Palermo, Gary Reasons, and Ronnie Rance on a lovely Monday afternoon from Turpin Stadium in Natchitoches, Louisiana, on the campus of Northwestern State University. Oak Grove Tigers vying for that back-to-back state championship, taking on the Grand Lake Hornets, the feel-good story of the Prep Classic from Cameron Parish. Oak Grove leading it by 2 touchdowns, and more hard running in between the tackles from their senior running back, Ron Creighton, who's had a huge game. He'll move the chains once again as Oak Grove looks to pull away even more in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, Ron Creighton He's pushed it up over 180 yards rushing in this ball game, and he's just been a force inside. I really am impressed with that offensive line, that the resiliency of those guys just banding together and making those holes opening up for Ron Creighton. It's a team effort, but he's got a good motor, and he's getting the job done.
At the 45 now of Grand Lake, Holloway will get a carry. Holloway is tackled, though. That is an outstanding play. Cole Mott, who's had a big game today, making the stop right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, Holloway loses a yard.
Good job there stepping up and making a tackle. And
staying at home right here, right, Gary?
Yeah, Benchon does a good job of getting in the backfield and staying there at the defensive linebacker position on the outside.
So 2nd down and 11. Grand Lake needs to force a turnover. You see the rushing yards, a big story in this football game with Oak Grove dominating in that category, and that's why they're up by 2 touchdowns. Clement keeps it. Clement's got the 1st down, and Clement all the way down to the 26-yard line. Pickup of about 19, 20 yards.
Yeah, they beat you up so much inside with Ron Creighton over and over and over again, and then when he pulls this ball, you can take that around the edge, and you can get a lot of yardage. And as Deuce Clement gets up here a little slow that time, explosive run to the outside around the corner, and they account for him inside, but Clement does a good job running and pulling that ball. He can also pitch that thing.
That's why Clement's averaging 11 yards a carry. There's so much focus on Creighton, so when he keeps it, he's got some running room, and then he's not afraid to run somebody over as well. He's going to have to come out of play after getting shaken up, so they'll go to the backup quarterback, and that is a sophomore. Joe Campanelli, 6 foot, 160 pounds, will take a snap in the Class 1A State Championship game early on in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they leave him in there, get a few extra snaps.
Oak Grove is going to use a timeout. They want to add only 5 seconds on the play clock.
This is their first
so we'll take the break with them.
half.
Oak Grove on the drive again, up by 2 touchdowns. Visit the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum in historic downtown Natchitoches for more information on the upcoming Hall of Fame class, which includes Nick Saban, Tim Brando, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com. They'll be inducting 2 classes because they were not able to get the 2020 class inducted. They'll try again. They hoping to do it in December. Maybe Ron Creighton will be in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame one day. Of course, Oak Grove's legendary coach, Vic Dalrymple, he started this monster of a football program, coaching 32 years at Oak Grove, 4 state titles, 7 appearances. And Ryan Gregory has done a nice job continuing the tradition. After a bit of a slow start, as I mentioned, he was only 5-6 in his first season. But they have turned it on here. 3rd straight year in the 1A title game. They lost to Kentwood in 2018, 40-21. And they are looking to repeat for the first time in school history. That's what Creighton did last year, and he's done better here today. He just needs to get in the end zone one more time.
Pop in another touchdown, kind of match that.
Coach Gregory had said that this group was not complacent at all. As here goes Clement. Clement trying to shake a tackler, and he does. Clement lowering the shoulder as he gets inside the 5-yard line. Another strong run from the senior QB.
Yeah, I sense that he wants to get into the end zone in the worst way. Really showing a lot of determination to continue to stretch that run, gets it in around the 5-yard line.
18-yard run from Clement. As it's now 1st and goal at the 5. You know, after winning a state championship and then you have the break because of COVID, you have to really wonder where the mindset of your players are at. Are they just kind of taking it easy, got their feet up? But he says this is a greedy group, does Ryan Gregory, the head coach at Oak Grove. Said they were not complacent at all. And when they got back together in June, he had a good idea that this team was going to be state championship bound. Hard run there by Creighton as he looks for that 2nd touchdown, but he's stopped at the 1-yard line.
Well, he may have been on the field as the ball carrier was stopped short of the goal line, 2nd down.
He may have been on top of players moving that ball across because he stretched out, tried to get that across the end line, and again hurt here on the field, unfortunately, is Bryant Williams, the big fella who's had a big ball game here. We'll take a look here as Ron Creighton stretches that ball out. Is he down? Because he definitely stretches over the end line with the football. Couldn't tell exactly from that angle. Here's a better shot at. That's Bryant Williams, number 64. And I think he spins, and Creighton is not down. He's on the player, and the ball stretches over. I think we may have a touchdown here for Ron Creighton.
Now, Oak Grove has not used their coach's challenge.
Yeah, but scoring plays can be reviewed, so that is a reviewable play. Although the ruling on the field is short of the line of the touchdown.
Looking at the right knee here, as this is the 2nd time Bryant Williams has needed medical treatment on the field.
Looking down at the replay officials booth here, and I believe they're looking at the plays and whether or not they'll buzz the field or not.
And again, Williams will gingerly walk off the field. He's returned one time after what looked to be a pretty bad injury.
We'll take a look at this here as you look at Ron Creighton. He is definitely not down. No body part touches the ground. He is laying across the defender. That's actually Williams on the ground there. He spins across, and the ball stretches across the goal line before he touches the ground. And they're stopping it here. The referee is coming over to put the headset on and talk to the replay officials upstairs. So this is a good shot at it here. That's directly over top, and he's lying on Bryant Williams on the ground. So he does not contact the ground. Now, I believe that's going to be overturned, and Ron Creighton's going to get another score here, as you were talking about, Jeff. Pop one in. Now, I'll give you a little bit of history here in this stadium. It's interesting. Back in the season of 1980 for Northwestern State, on our roster for Northwestern State football, pretty unique roster. We had the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert. We had Joe Delaney,
yes,
from the Kansas City Chiefs, great Northwestern State demon, one of the best of all times. We had myself on the football team, Mark Duper on our football team, and somebody you might know down in Baton Rouge, board number 77 is the Northwestern State demon, but also the head coach of the LSU Tigers, Ed Ogeron, was our defensive tackle. So, boy, there's some great stories and legends that have come out of this university and this facility, and a lot of pride here as well.
A lot of personalities on that
Yeah.
team. That's amazing. Mark Duperneau is kind of a quiet guy, isn't he?
He is definitely a quiet guy, but one of the fastest guys you've ever seen. He and Joe Delaney and a couple of others were on the 4x100 national championship 4x100 relay team at Northwestern State won back during those times, and pretty special times.
Joe Delaney, of course, loved in Kansas City. Really loved anywhere. Every article that I read about the guy, and I like to read a lot about him because I wasn't living in Louisiana at the time when he was obviously playing at Northwestern State. It just seems like a tremendous individual.
After
Really
review, ball carrier was on top of players, and then the ball crossed the goal line. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So second touchdown for Ron Creighton, 19 rushing touchdowns on the year. And he matches the 2 touchdowns he got in last year's 1A title game. And Oak Grove expands its lead to 27-7.
Well, this team has done it on the ground all day long with Ron Creighton getting the bulk of the work here. And he's had a tremendous afternoon, 186 yards rushing in this football game, a couple of touchdowns, and just a tremendous afternoon for that young man.
James Clack to try the extra point. Oh, off the goalpost. No good. Our first doink of the Prep Classic.
Or you call that a clack?
Oh, that's pretty good. That's really good for a Monday afternoon. Ron Creighton, 2 touchdowns to match the jersey number as Oak Grove powering their way to another 1A title. Oak Grove in search for that second ring back-to-back years as this school is trying to make history here today, going back-to-back for the first time ever. And Grand Lake now in trouble, down by 20 points, and they don't have Eli Fountain out there returning the kick. It's Kyler Little. As Grand Lake has lost its 2 best players, its starting center. I tell you.
Yeah, it's not easy out there.
No, it's not.
It's been a physical ball game for both these football teams, and Grand Lake, now they're trying to find ways to be able to get chunk plays. 9 minutes to go in this football game, and Jeff Wainwright has got to figure out how he can get this offense clicking and get these yardage, chunks that they need. 27-7 down in this ball game, so they need 3 scores.
From the 26-yard line. Oh, nothing happening. And there he is again. I know Ron Creighton's going to get a lot of votes for MVP for Oak Grove, but Bryson Baker might get my vote today. He has been dominating in the middle of that line of scrimmage.
It's really disheartening when you have a defensive player in your backfield all the time, all day long, that you have to contend with, especially if you're a Veer football team and the guys that are trying to run those quick dive handoffs, and the quarterback cannot even make that mesh point because it's just being disrupted so much. And you're right, Jeff. Bryson Baker has had a tremendous day at that defensive nose tackle / defensive tackle position.
Well, good to see Bryant Williams back out there for Grand Lake. You saw him a moment ago. A bit of a spread formation, and now Fountain's back out there. Fountain looks like he wants to throw it again. The southpaw chucks it down the field, and Holloway nearly had another interception.
Well, guess who's back there again, pressuring.
And there is a flag down, too.
Yeah, Bryson Baker broke through the line of scrimmage that time as well and disrupted everything that they were trying to do, bringing him across the line of scrimmage, across the formation to try to make a throw there, Eli Fountain.
Looks like it's an illegal man downfield on that pass play.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 56 of the offense. 5-yard penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Okay, so on the right side of the screen, watching number 56 there, Cole Castile. He's just blocking. These offensive linemen are there, so got to be a little bit of an RPO there, run pass option. They're thinking that this is going to be a run play all the way with Eli Fountain coming around, but he decides to toss the football. And
not much running room at all for Grand Lake in the second half. That is their 11th rush and 0 yards after rushing for 53 yards in the first half.
Got to give a lot of credit to this Oak Grove defense. There's no doubt about that. This basic 3-4 alignment that they have, they've kind of adjusted that a little bit here today with this front. Not allowing really anything on the ground to happen with this football team as Grand Lake. They like to run the football. They're a run-first football team, no doubt about that.
Branson Aguillard back out the punt for Grand Lake. Holloway ready to return one. Again, 3 returns for a punt. That time they punted it over Holloway's head. That's a nice job by Aguillard. He's had a nice day punting the football. In this game, he's averaged 43.5 yards a punt before that one, and that one went 47.
First down.
So this is the first of 3 here on this Monday afternoon in Natchitoches on Cox Sports Television with our tape delay broadcast. This is what we have coming up. We'll have some more action for you tomorrow on New Year's Day, as we'll have the Division III championship. Wake up at 8 a.m. and you got some football on the TV with LCA and St. Charles Catholic. Then it's STM versus De La Salle. Washita Christian against Calvary Baptist. And then Edna Carr seeking a 5th straight championship, taking on Karen Crow. A lot of running room here for Clement. It has turned into a foot race. Clement inside the 10, and he's dragged down to the ground at the 2-yard line. As Kyler Little finally brought him down, but a 71-yard run for Clement. And he's showing the muscles off too.
Well, Deuce Clement has done a great job running this offense all season long for this football team, and he gets an opportunity here to display his running capability around the edge. A little bit fake handoff there inside. He goes around, finds a crease, and trying to get into the end zone. Good effort and good closing capability by Kyler Little, not allowing him to get there for that score, but tremendous explosive play there from the quarterback, Deuce Clement.
359 yards rushing now for Oak Grove today. Clement on the quarterback sneak, but there were whistles before the snap, and a flag goes down. Might be a delay of game here. There's 0 on the play clock.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, it's a long way to go down there. they started the play clock pretty quickly, so.
Now they started up again here, and Oak Grove, Ron Creighton will bring in the play call to the huddle. Six and a half counting. Well, another flag. And it's not the play clock, I don't think.
There's no foul on the play for delay of game. Play clock operator, please reset the game clock to 25. The play clock will start on the ready for play.
Play clock operator is the one that was
he flagged?
Yeah,
he flagged for the play for that?
Yeah, he was. He was.
Okay.
I think so. Three wide receivers to the far side. Clement running around the right end, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Grove. Tigers dominating performance in this second half. It was a 7-0 game at halftime, but Oak Grove doing what they've done to everybody else they've played in the Class 1A playoffs, just putting on a show offensively and defensively.
Well, fitting here that Clement gets that ball and that Carey gets it into the end zone. He did all the work. That was that long run. That was a long, tiring run. Gets that ball into the end zone here. It's been a feast here right now for Oak Grove in this football game, rushing the football. It's been fun to watch.
Clement over 150 yards rushing. That extra point is no good, and that is the only thing that has gone wrong here for Oak Grove in this second half as they lead it 33-7 over Grand Lake. This offensive line has settled in very well, and you'll watch them right here.
Yeah, watch number 64, John Carter Daniel, just close that thing out there, just kick out the defensive end, and then Deuce just kind of brings it right up inside there. Not even touched by the defensive end, and excellent job of getting that ball in the end zone and good blocking up front.
6:09 left to go here as Oak Grove ready to win another state championship. It will be the 6th one in this program's history. 130 yards rushing, or 130 total yards for Oak Grove, 0 for Grand Lake in the 4th quarter. End over end kick, taken at the 8. Kyler Little cuts back. Ran a long way and ends up getting out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
One thing about Little, he's been in the play quite a bit there. He's a guy that plays both ways for this football team, wide receiver, defensive back, kick returner. He's been a bright spot for Grand Lake today.
Another guy on that basketball team that did very well last year. Now that football is finally over with, a lot of high school basketball coaches are going to be excited to get some of their star players back.
What a day here in December.
This is unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness.
This is unbelievable.
Sunshine is abound here, and tremendous afternoon.
No wind, just a perfect day. 26-yard line, they'll start, and Guillot running for his life. Guillot chased down by Javante Morris. Got to the line of scrimmage, that's about it.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate and thank Dr. Chris Maggio, the president of Northwestern State University, Greg Burke, the athletic director from Northwestern, of being able to coordinate all of these events here for the LSHAA state championships, this prep class slate of championship games here. A lot of work has gone into it to make this stadium and facility ready for the fans coming to attendance, and it's a great job this team has done, and congratulations, guys.
And they'll be busy this spring with the South League Conference playing a conference-only schedule. Northwestern State will be a part of that, kicking off in February. And you got baseball. The baseball team here at Northwestern State is very good. And they return, well, a lot of baseball teams return a lot of their players from last year because of season being cut short. And Mike McConaughey and the Demons basketball team will be starting conference play up this weekend. So it will be a busy spring on the campus of Northwestern State with spring football. How about this? Nice little run up the middle. There's a first down. One of the more positive plays, that's Branson Aguiar, a senior who's got 352 yards rushing on the season, gets 16 on that carry.
Yeah, bright spot there, gets a first down, moves the chains. And I think that Oak Grove, they kind of feel that this is their ball game here. Just got to keep everything in front of you. No explosive plays. Can't allow quick scores here in this ball game at the end of this fourth quarter.
Well, Grand Lake with under 4.5 to go here. Get this first down play out of the way first. And that's been a familiar theme, running up the middle for nothing. But if Grand Lake would have won this game, you would need to seriously contact the Hollywood scriptwriters to start writing a movie on this Grand Lake 2020 football team. But even if they looks like they are going to lose here today, they may want to write it up anyways, because it's a tremendous story, about as good as it gets as far as inspiration, and as Coach Wainwright said earlier, a power of sports. And it's going to be a long recovery for Cameron Parish, a parish that didn't necessarily recover all the way back after Hurricane Rita. But one of the things that occurred, I guess a positive sign from Hurricane Rita, is there were a lot of valuable lessons learned from there. Building codes improved. For instance, the high school didn't really sustain too much damage. The roof got blown off and there was water damage inside the high school, but because they had generators there, they were able to quickly dry out the school, and really very little damage done to Grand Lake High School and a lot of the other government buildings there. But for Oh, I would say 95 to maybe even 99% of the residents there, if not 100%. Everyone there has to rebuild after what happened.
Yeah, lost their homes, living in campers for the most part.
Garages.
Yeah.
Coach Wainwright said, maybe I'll just build a garage next time for my home because this is working out pretty good.
You talked about potentially a script for that. Well, you think back in Natchitoches, back in 1989, they had a tremendous script that was kind of rolled out here. You remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Steel Magnolias and with Julia Roberts, Sally Field, Daryl Hannah, little Dolly Parton in that movie. Natchitoches very famous for Steel Magnolias, and you can still see homes today when you watch that movie that are standing pretty impressive. Most folks, when they come to Natchitoches, they like to see that area.
Didn't Julia Roberts do another movie in this area too, or was that just it? Was it just Steel Magnolias?
I'm not a.
You're not
Mr. Movie Buff.
Yeah, you're not movie buff. Yeah.
I know a few things here, but still Magnolias is one of them.
Yes, that is the one. Still remember it. I don't know. It was about 10 years ago when obviously Oprah Winfrey show was still going on, and Oprah came down for Northwestern State's homecoming because a guest on her, not a guest, but one of the spectators of the show told Oprah, you need to come visit Natchitoches.
Yeah, she did.
She did, and she rode in the homecoming parade.
I remember that vividly.
That was about 10, 15 years ago, something like that.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 17 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So second down and 13 here for Grand Lake. A great season, a season that these kids will never forget. This community will never forget, will come to an end. But there you look at some of the scenery here at a rolling campus of Northwestern State.
You can stop that shot right there. If you look back towards the middle of that shot, those 3 spires back there, those are actually the 3 columns that you see everything about Northwestern State University in those shots, because they're historic monuments that have been left there from a previous residents that were there.
Encroachment.
It's a
Number
good shot of it
44
there.
of the defense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And tonight they'll be lit up. They'll light those up, and they're colorful. They do it scenically for the holidays, and also as well for respect for fallen folks, as well as for the tragedies that have happened on some of the hurricanes as well. They've got those colored as well. It's a great symbol of community here with Northwestern State and Natchitoches.
Yeah, every logo you see as far as the university goes, you see those columns there in the logo. Second down and 7. As Grand Lake has moved the ball into Oak Grove territory, as Branson Aguiar getting another carry. For Grand Lake, they will return some of these players. Nathaniel Miro will be back, Connor Giat, maybe Bryant Williams, but Eli Fountain will move on, and it'll be interesting to see if he can find somewhere to play and where he'll play and what sport he'll play.
Yeah. He's going to have some options, I think, with his opportunity to get him playing baseball, basketball, football, whatever it may be. He's an athlete. There's going to be somebody that's going to be knocking on his door trying to court him.
And for Oak Grove, a tremendous group of seniors will be leaving this program, winning 2 state championships. Giat will throw, going deep. There's a flag down, and the pass is incomplete. There are 2 flags down.
We do have a flag on the play.
Speaking of Eli Fountain, that's how his high school football career is ending.
Yeah. Disappointed, I'm sure. Got a little injury in this ball game. You just saw, though, with his athleticism, the things that he's done, the catch that he thought he had in the end zone for a touchdown. Boy, he really wanted that.
Yeah, that was a big sequence of plays there at the end of the first half. Grand Lake could have tied the game. They had 3 passes into the end zone, and they just missed completing on all 3 of them.
There are 2 live ball fouls committed by the offense. Illegal formation. There were more than players in the backfield. That penalty is also ineligible receiver downfield offense. That penalty is also declined. It is 4th down.
So 1 more offensive possession for Grand Lake, but we were talking about the senior group, the seniors for Ryan Gregory. Man, he's going to miss them. Bryson Baker, Dalton Allen, who's looking for a place to play on the college level after Southern Miss took away his scholarship that they offered him. Lane Warren, another senior, Deuce Clement, Bud Holloway, Ron Creighton, and Cade Klink and E.J. Anderson on the offensive line. This is a great group of seniors, and for Oak Grove, another state championship.
Back-to-back state championship titles, that's not easy to accomplish, and they definitely have done so. It's done a great job leading this football team. Talk about Ron Creighton and his efforts, and past champions here, obviously Oak Grove 2019 and again in 2020. Ryan Gregory being congratulated by members of his staff, and fun times here for Oak Grove coming to Natchitoches and winning a state championship.
Oak Grove has won a state championship in 1989, 91, 99, 2001, 2019, and now they're 2020 champions of Class 1A. A dominating performance over Grand Lake, 33-7. And in the playoffs, they played 4 games in the postseason. They only allowed 39 points. And they scored over 200 points as they dominated every game they played. Just a great effort by Oak Grove, and they truly deserve this 2020 Class 1A championship.
Well, 2 things that stood out for me is the play of the offensive line here for this football team, and Oak Grove did a great job moving the chains, moving the ball, allowing Ron Creighton to work inside against that defense, and then defensively, they shut down this Grand Lake offense. They did not allow them to get any big plays, and it was a huge, huge day for the Oak Grove Tigers.
Down to the field in a Hub International sideline report. Here's Ronnie Rance.
Thanks. Down here with the head coach, Ryan Gregory. Congratulations. The 6th title in your school's history. First time back-to-back.
Great performance in the second half by our guys. Came out a little sluggish. A lot of that has to do with Grand Lake and how hard they played. But our guys came out in the second half and clicked like we have all year, and it was awfully special to watch.
Looked like the physicality maybe caught up to Grand Lake a little bit. You guys really brought the wood all day.
Yeah, our guys have played physical all year. That's kind of our MO, and just to finish it out this way is just great.
One of your mentors, Vic Dalrymple, 7 times he was in a state championship, won 4 of them. You're in that conversation now, back-to-back. It's got to be special.
It's very special. Anytime you can do that at your alma mater, it's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The winning coach for the Class 1A state champions, Oak Grove. Let's go back to Jeff.
Ryan Gregory now 72-20 as he just completed his 6th season as the head coach of the Tigers. Great game for Deuce Clement and this Oak Grove squad as they are Class 1A champions. Trophy presentation when we come back.
Selected by the working media of the Front Classic.
Oak Grove has just wrapped up the Class 1A state championship, and we just found out the most valuable player for Oak Grove. No surprise at all, Ron Creighton, winning it in back-to-back years. This time 191 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, so he did better than he did last year, which was 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. And our most outstanding player is brought to you by Baden. As our game ball goes to our Baden Player of the Year, Baden Player of the Game, I should say. Baden, the official game ball of the LHSAA championships.
Yeah, well-deserved opportunity there for that young man to repeat and did a good job here. 190-plus yards rushing on the ball on the game today, 191 yards and a couple of scores. So very deserved state championship for this Oak Grove Tiger football team.
And a couple of backflips by Bud Holloway before Oak Grove claims that 6th state championship trophy. Let's take a look at the day that Ron Creighton had. Came in rushing, having nearly 1,400 yards rushing on the season, and he was explosive all day. He could have really broken a lot of big runs in this game, but still he was one of the best players on the field today.
No doubt about it. And the offensive line did a good job of opening up holes for him, but he runs through arm tackles, and so it takes 3 or 4 players to bring this young man down into the ground in any kind of a given play on a tackle. So he's done a great job on the outside. He's got speed. He's got the most thing he's got heart, and I think his effort is second to none. He did a great job here getting that ball into the end zone over a laid down player there. So that's a couple of scores. Big day there for Ron Creighton and this football team.
Back-to-back state titles as they take the photo. And that will do it for our coverage of the Class 1A State Championship. Join us tomorrow for another full day of LHSAA Championship football on CST beginning at 8 a.m. with the Division III matchup between the Lafayette Christian Knights and the St. Charles Catholic Comets. Again, congratulations go out to the Oak Grove Tigers as they go back-to-back as 1A champs for Ronnie Rance, Gary Reasons. I'm Jeff Lermo. The final score from Turpin Stadium in Natchitoches: Oak Grove 33, Grand Lake 7.